Hello, my darlings. Mama Lou here, and I wanted to do something a little bit different for this, I don't know, for today or for the next couple of days, because I'm getting a lot of messages in regarding the different elements. The elemental beings are really talking at this time, and so I am trying to get those out to you guys. I did a little mini series of this on the TikTok as well, but I wasn't able to really get into like it deeply with those little 3-minute videos, and so they haven't stopped talking to me, so I wanted to continue getting those messages out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of do this in a little series where this one is going to be regarding the messages from the elementals that are coming in. I'm going to start with the element of water, so the Undine spirit, and what messages they really are trying to bring to the forefront. We all can deal with the elementals in different ways. We all deal with, we all have different aspects of them within us. And so you can relate it to ones that you're interested in. You can relate it to your zodiacal signs, sun, moon, rising, whatever that is. I am not an astrologer, but I know just enough. I'm learning. I really want to learn, but I know enough to understand how the different elements really can affect the different signs. And so that's what kind of got me into it in the first place, is because I work with the elemental beings in my different rituals. And so I just really wanted to bring that to the forefront because they're still talking to me and they have a lot to say. So we're going to start with the elemental of the water, which is the Undine spirit here. And I'm going to try and get the messages out. This might cover a lot of different subjects, but I just need to get them out. I got to get them out. Otherwise, they're going to just keep replaying in my head until they're satisfied. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. So these are messages, like I said, from the Undine spirits, the water spirits, as you were, the water elementals. And so this is going to focus on that. I think I explained it as much as I could. My cat seems to agree with me, so we're going to go with that. Okay, so the first song that came out with this is Pieces. It's the live version by Harbor and Home. And the lyric on there is, "In the end, I'll find the pieces. I'll find rest for my weary soul, because in the end, I'll find the peace in letting go." This song has a really strong theme to it about accepting and letting go, inner turmoil released, and let the universe be your compass. This has a lot of releasing energy. And especially in regards to the water elementals, they're all about letting those emotions come in and then flow out. And there's power in that. There's power in understanding what you're feeling, where it's coming from. What does it do to you? How does it make you feel? Can you learn from it? And then once you do all that stuff, you've taken it and then you let it go because you filtered it through your body. You filtered it in. You've allowed it to cleanse the different areas it needs to. You allowed it to erode away barriers that you have within. And you've also allowed it to teach you and get you in the rhythm, like a wave where you're in that flow space. But you don't hold on to it because you know that energy isn't yours, and it's okay once it does all that, once it does that cleansing, to let it go. The song is beautiful. All of these songs are great. The ones that came out for you guys, actually, they're some of my favorites in my mixtape Oracle deck. So, but that's really the energy I got. Really beautiful and really precise message. This feels like whether this is a past relationship or whether this was someone saying something that just keeps continuing in your brain and just worming away in there and continuing to hurt you, even though this is a past situation. It feels like it's still hurting you, like it's still creating this, really harsh wave tide that every once in a while out of nowhere you feel it and it just hits you and you're right back in that space again. This feels like it's time to open up the, the dam and let it out. If that means you need to cry it out, that means you need to yell out, go out in the woods and yell to the universe. If this means that you just need to meditate on it and find out why it's continuing to just bother you, so that once you can figure that out, you can just release it and let it go. It's really actually beautiful. This could be about a time you felt wronged, or a time you felt slighted or overlooked, or any of these things. Those are the things where emotionally the water element can actually beat you up and pull, it almost feels like a riptide, where it pulls you under, and it just keeps rolling you and rolling you. And that's not the way that you're supposed to use the elemental of water. The element of water is, like I said, it's a purification. It's a emotional wave that can go on a really amazing high, and it can also help you in your lowest of lows, because it comes back up and it takes you back in to shore, that kind of thing. How many metaphors I can come up with for the ocean and water, I don't know, but these are the images that are coming into my head. And so this feels more like riding. Okay, we're going into more riding that emotion more on a really sturdy boat. Like, understand it's going to take you where it's going to take you. Life takes you where it's going to take you, but you need to be in the flow of it. You need to move with it. You need to understand that it's not going to be a beautiful sunny day on a yacht every day. Sometimes it's like, a Alaskan fishing boat in the middle of winter, and you got to hold on, and you got to accept that it's going to change you, and change is okay. And that's where the part in the song about the accept part comes in. Accept that things are going to change. Your feelings are not always going to be, on the same level, and they don't need to be. But it feels like understanding that sometimes there are emotions that we need to feel so that we can be more empathetic, or maybe even more sympathetic, or we can have a deeper understanding. It feels like wisdom to me. It feels like, that really caring, wise energy. I mean, there's a reason why, I always associate the moon with a lot of the water elements. I mean, it rules Cancer, but you know what I mean. But just because it pulls on the tide, it pulls on the water, it pulls on these things, and it does it for a reason. Just like, the moon's the maiden mother crone. Okay, what am I learning here from my divine mother? What are we learning here? And it feels really important for us to go through these things, but not hold on to them. That is the biggest part of this message. Don't hold on to something, because all it does is it just kind of drowns you. Well, more water analogies. Yeah, because you're just drowning in it. And how are you ever going to get back up to the surface and realize, oh, maybe I just need to put my feet down, maybe I just need to, stand up. Maybe I just need to float for a little bit. Maybe I just need to, drink this in and let it filter through. They're giving me so many of these analogies. I'm really sorry that they're coming out a little like cheesy, but this is the imagery that they're giving me with this song in particular. It's really interesting because it is hard. Emotions are difficult. Emotions are tiring. Sometimes they're frustrating. Sometimes they're overwhelming, and sometimes we want to just turn them off because they're just too much. I mean, even people who are super happy, they're crying, they're overwhelmed, they may start breathing heavy because it is a natural response. And so it's how you deal with these things that matters. It's how you incorporate them into your life. It's how you use the element of the water to continue, because you got the sun. It's all about this life. It's all about the experience. It's all about the world that you make, and the world you make, or the life that you make it. You know what I mean? It's all about that. And it's okay. Like, even her face, there's darkness and there's lightness. And the sun is one of the most positive cards out there because it's all meant for the good. I know that that sounds horrible and that might be, you know, difficult for some people to hear, but even the times when you're in your lows and you're feeling emotionally depleted or you're feeling sad or something negative has happened to you, whatever this is, the water will come in, teach you that lesson. Like I said, break down what needs to be broken down so that you can come back up to the light, so you can come back up to the surface, so that you can be like, that was amazing. I mean, what's better than like diving into a river, you know, and just feeling it rush through you and over you and just, and then you come out and then you lay out on the rocks in the hot sun and it feels cleansing, because that's exactly what it is. It feels rejuvenating. It feels positive, you know, and it feels like this is the energy that they want you to focus on. It's okay to have emotions. It's okay to want to have that deep understanding and that wisdom. Take what you need, but let the rest go. This could also be taking on other people's emotions, other people's problems as your own. This is you saying you need to be the one that keeps yourself positive. You need to be the one that that doesn't let yourself drown. That's the biggest part of the message, because even in the lyric, I'll find rest for my weary soul, because in the end I'll find the peace in letting go. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's simple. And I'm not saying that it's something that may not take a little bit of time. It just feels like the energy right now is, if there's anything that you're holding on to, if there's things that are still bothering you, it may be time to release this. It may be, maybe you need to do a ritual. Maybe you need to do a meditation. Maybe you need to do a cord cutting. Maybe you need to talk to someone like a therapist or something like that. But it feels like it's time, like the spirits are asking at this time for you to really try to let this go. That's the message that I got there. Okay, the second song is Constellations by Ellie Holcomb. Beautiful. Listen to it. Get the headphones on. But it's out here in the dark underneath a canopy of stars, constellations falling from your heart. They tell me I'm not alone. This is reconnecting to the universe, higher power, or source, whatever you believe in. This is feeling alone in the world and connecting to your path. This feels like the spiritual side of the Undine spirit. Just the very metaphysical, the very enlightening, the very, it feels like kind of tapping into your gifts, your spiritual gifts. This may be a time where it's like, when it's just you alone, do you know that you have a calling? Do you know that there's something you could be doing? Do you feel like there's a pull towards something? This could be any different thing. This could be, you know, maybe you just are really good at talking to people. Maybe you're a really good listener. Maybe you know, do mediumship. Maybe you're a great yoga instructor or Kundalini instructor, or maybe you put in whatever ability that you may have, but it feels like the universe may be calling you right now. The universe may be really pulling on you right now. And the spirits are kind of coming in here. The Undine spirits, the water spirits are kind of coming in here, of where you may need to open yourself up to that. This is you opening your heart and listening to that intuitive calling, that intuitive knowing. We all feel drawn in a certain way and to a certain path, to something that feels like our, you know, destiny, or feels like our, you know, divine path or purpose or our true north. And this feels very much like finding your place in the universe. I know that all is one and one is all, but this is you understanding I am part of a bigger picture here. It's not just me. If I do good, the universe does good. If I just do a little thing here, I am helping in this grander scheme of things as a spiritual being, as a part of the one consciousness. And it feels like right now, the spirits are being like, it's time to start tapping into some of your guys' callings here and activate, go, kind of a thing. That's a little bit of what it is. But you may have to have a little, moment with the universe. However you do that, it feels like it may be time for you to get serious about some of these things that you naturally just do. Yeah. Because you got the Four of Swords. Yeah. It's time. And I think it's funny because this bird on this looks like he's laying down and like looking up at the sky, like, like when you go and lay in the grass and you just look up and you start having like all those amazing thoughts and you start thinking about, life and the world and everything that you got going on. And I think it's interesting that the song is Constellations and it says, out here in the dark, underneath a canopy of stars, constellations falling from your heart, they tell me I'm not alone. And it kind of is like it feels like maybe just going somewhere, going out into nature, stand, or if you live in the city, go to the roof and just in the dark of night, just look up at the sky and realize that you are a part of this amazing universe. And yeah, it may make you feel a little bit small in that moment, but it also shows you how big and amazing you can be. You just need to tap into that. You just need to acknowledge it. Don't be afraid of it. Accept it. And then start working on understanding it and how to best use it for your highest good or for your purpose. Or, this could be as simple as maybe you're just really good, I don't know, maybe you're really good with, I'm trying to think of a word for it, but it feels like finding something like maybe you're just a really good cook or something. That may be part of your higher purpose. That may be your gift. It may be that you can give the gift of, someone who's never had a home cooked meal before and you make them this meal. I don't know if you've ever given a home cooked meal to someone like a college kid or something like that. They are over the moon with the idea that someone would take the time to make them something. I know that sounds like that's just an example, but nothing is too small. No gift that you have is too small because someone out there doesn't have that. And so it just kind of has this a little bit of a, not necessarily like humanitarian feeling, but it does have a little bit of a, if you give good energy out and you put that kind of thing out into the universe, it's going to come back. I'm not saying do things just so you get something in return, but it feels like a positive energy out, positive energy in. Do this. Okay, I'm looking at the universe. I've always felt like I've been really called to do, scrying or something like that. And you start practicing it. Start seeing if you can learn that language and do it, because it feels like the energy I'm getting is, okay, it's time. Okay, come on, guys. Let's do this. I know you know you can do things. I know that you got these gifts and abilities. I know that you can dig down and find that place inside of you that's like, oh, sometimes I see spirits, or sometimes I, get clairaudient or clairsentient, whatever it is. It feels like acknowledging those things. No, you're not crazy. No, you're not, I'm not a doctor. So, take this for what it is. But, really start getting in there, digging into these parts of yourself that maybe life has kept you pretty busy. I mean, we all got stuff to do, where we kept kind of just putting that to the side. Oh, I'll deal with that later. Oh, that's just nothing. That's just something silly that I do. It's like a parlor trick or whatever, you know. This is like, no, okay. It's time to go and actually look at this and take some actual meditative time to really find out what this is, how can I use it, and how do I start implementing it into my everyday life. It feels very much like that. Like, start putting a little magic in your everyday life. Simple little things, you know, whatever it is. Just, you know, maybe you sew. You know, as you're sewing, say a little, you know, like, oh, this person's going to love this, you know, like putting that into it. Or maybe you're, you know, like planting, sing to your plants, whatever this is. It feels like put that energy out there, and then you're going to start noticing things coming back in. You're going to start, maybe you start seeing signs, maybe you start seeing omens, maybe you start seeing synchronicities, whatever this is. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting here. So, really cool message. The last one is Dragons by Drew Holcomb and the Lone Below. Or the Lone Bellow. I always say below, but I think it's Bellow. Okay. Take a few chances, a few worthy romances, go swimming in the ocean on New Year's Day. Huh, water spirits swimming in the ocean. That's funny. You can't make this stuff up, people. It's in the song right here. So, okay. Take a few chances, a few worthy romances, go swimming in the ocean on New Year's Day. Don't listen to the critics. Stand up and bear witness. Go slay all the dragons that stand in your way. This is don't let fears keep you from living life to its fullest. Be in the present. Try things, live, and learn, and overcome. All kind of in the same zone here, but I think that's pretty cool that go swimming in the ocean on New Year's Day. You may want to do some, you know, spiritual baths. You may want to, you know, go for a swim. I know it's a little bit cold, at least where I'm at, but, you know, this feels like actually having a little bit of a process regarding the elemental of water. Whether this maybe, I don't know if you've ever seen it before, but like get a glass of water, speak kindly into it, speak good stuff into it, and then drink it. Really easy. Bath. Put different herbs in the bath with you. Put different oils. Put, you know, yeah, it feels like doing things like that. If you wash your face, and as you're doing it, you know, like repeat a mantra or something like that. If you, yeah, it feels like doing something to cleanse yourself with water. If you make moon water, or if you know, yeah, something along these lines. That's what I'm getting in. They're not being specific because they just said, you know, everybody's path is different, but take that for what it is. Take it how it resonates with you, and try and incorporate it into your everyday life in some way, shape, or form. But this also kind of plays into this constellation song, because it says, don't let fears keep you from living life to your fullest. Don't let life get in the way of your purpose. Don't let life get in the way of you pursuing your gifts or abilities. This feels very much like the spiritual message overall from the Undine is that you need to start digging in. It's time. You need to start, like the first song, let some stuff go that's no longer serving you. It's okay to release it. It's okay to feel it, release it. The second one is about, okay, now get real with yourself, have a little talk, and be like, okay, yeah, these are some gifts or abilities that I have. How can I start incorporate them? And getting that energy out there in the universe, because then those skills grow. Those skills get even more intense and helpful and beneficial to your purpose and your path as you go along. And then the last one is about, okay, do something about it. Like make it known to the universe. Hey, I'm doing this. Like I said, whether it's a spiritual bath or whether it's a, you know, go bathe in the rain. I don't know. Whatever works for you, because it's time to live. It feels very much like the elementals are saying like it's time to live. They talk about like living water and it being, life in general. Water is needed for everything to continue. And it feels like it's time to start living that life, your authentic life, the one that you are meant to walk, the one that is going to be fulfilling for you. And there's no time, like it even says, be in the present. There's no time like the present. It feels very much like, okay, it's time to start. Kind of like what I've been saying all along. All right, activate. Time to go. No more hiding. No more pretending it doesn't happen. No more, no more talking yourself out of it. No more putting it off. No more, it feels like we don't know what tomorrow brings. So it's time to start doing something now. No more excuses. Like I said, you can't make this stuff up. The Fool. It's time to go. It's time for you to go on your path. It's time for you to start your journey. It's time. This is super cool and amazing, and I love that this card came out. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, because these messages are coming in hot tonight from the Undine spirit. So, yeah, there's no more excuses, and I know sometimes it feels like a risk, or sometimes it's easier to just worry about past things that have happened, kind of like these other songs, like you can't keep letting the past stop you from having a future. You can't stop, or you can't start, whatever that is. Yeah, you can't let past things just like get you so down on yourself that you think that you're never going to do it right the next time, or it's not going to be better the next time, or that you can't improve, or you can't learn a lesson. Of course you can learn a lesson. Lessons are hard, but that's why when you learn that lesson, guess what? You're going to do everything you can not to have to go through that again. You'll probably learn another lesson that was hard, but it won't be the same one. But it feels, sorry, that caught me funny. But you need to keep moving forward. You need to progress. There's no more holding back. There's no more denying who and what you are and what you're capable of. There's no more living in the past and continuing to let past things stop your progress, because it is now time to let go of that fear and live your life. You are a trailblazer. You can go, you can move, you can accomplish whatever you put your mind and your heart into. Like I said, this is all from the water. This is all cups energy. This is all, moon, divine, feminine energy. And it's not, we all have feminine and masculine energy in us. So it has nothing to do with, gender or anything like that. This is the idea. It's time for you to start giving to yourself, nurturing yourself and nurturing your path and watering it and fertilizing it and giving it everything it needs, because it is important. You can't keep living still. You can't be stagnant. There it goes. Okay. Thank you. That was funny. Stagnant water. What does it do? It starts getting spoiled. It starts fouling. It starts being undrinkable. Stagnant water. You want flowing water. Go with the flow. Really cool ending message there. So that is the message for the elemental of water, the Undine spirit. I will be putting these songs down below in the description box. I forgot to say at the beginning too, please do all the YouTube-y things, the likes, the subscribes, everything like that. This very much feels like energy over the next couple, 2 to 4 weeks energy. It feels very much like now's the time. No more excuses. Let's do this. Let's move. That is the energy that I got, which is super cool. So yeah, I will try and get to the other elementals here pretty soon, but I wanted to get this one started because they were talking the loudest. So that's why I got it going. But, yeah, do all the like, subscribe things. And if you want to see me on TikTok, I'm on Mama Lou Tarot on TikTok. And if you are riding in your car and you want to listen to these as well, I am Mama Lou's Modern Tarot on Spotify as a podcast as well, if you want to do that. So, great. I hope that resonated with you guys. Put comments down. Let me know what you think. And I just want you to know, Mama Lou loves you very much. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me and getting these messages from the Undine spirits for you waters. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.